Good evening. Good evening to you. How good is the light in here tonight? I don't know whether it looks good from you watching it. It looks good from this side. And look, this live is going to be charged with selenite. And look how amazing that looks when it hits the lights. So this is my handheld selenite crystal that my daughter bought me for Christmas. And I truly love it. It feels amazing. Anyway, welcome to Tuesday Night Live on Creative Genius TV. And you're probably wondering why I've set the title tonight of talking about having a world-class business. I've been doing a lot this year of how-tos on the lives, and I wanted to take a different direction tonight. So that's the reason why, and I'll tell you all about that in a very open and honest way as we dive into things. So I'll give it just a few more seconds to see if anyone else drops on. And if they don't, as always, I will just keep talking. I hope you've all had a good day and a good week. We seem to have some light at the end of the tunnel with COVID and a release date from prison, which is good. Let's hope that everything pans out as it's supposed to be. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it? Tell me where you're watching from. If you are watching live, hashtag live. If you are watching on replay, hashtag replay. And ask me questions. I might not be able to see your comments during the live, but I always go back to all the different platforms later on and respond to any queries that you may have. So for those of you that don't know me, as people are dropping on, and I'm sure most of you do, it's Mandy Nicholson. And my title is Creative Genius Consultant. I am also an artist and an author. And today I've been being an author. At the weekend, I was being an artist. Last night, I was being a mentor to creative women. My role is varied and it's very beautiful because it serves from a place of love and creativity, which is my favorite place to be. And I help creative women to step into their power, to take it back, and to learn how to become really savvy business owners and how to make money in their business. That's my job, as well as creating art for the world and writing stories for the world. I'm a storyteller. I'm an artist. I tell stories through pictures. I tell stories through words and through people. So tonight I wanted to talk about how you even get your mindset to thinking about creating, growing, developing a world-class business. What does that even mean? What is she even talking about? What do I even mean? I mean that is the goal I've set for me and my team this year. My business has now been operating from Boxing Day 2019. It's just over a year old, a year and a bit old. And at this point of my business, I am always asking myself this question: how can I do better? How can I serve more? How can I help more women, more people to understand themselves? Because here is the problem that I encounter in my work, in my job all of the time, both in myself and in my clients and in the people that I talk to and the people that I meet. There's a mismatch and a misunderstanding of who they are. Creatives really struggle to actually align themselves and their mission and understand their creativity. So it makes it really difficult for them to think about world-class businesses. We've got world-class artists, world-class authors, but what is a world-class business? So let's take one. Let's have a look at one. Virgin Atlantic is one, a world-class business, but it wasn't always. And actually, depending on your experience, it might still not be today, but it's always striving to be. And that's because the CEO of that business has had that objective in his business dealings in all areas from the get-go. It was always about becoming a world-class business, because why else would you go into business? So I did not step into my business to have a little side hustle, to have something small. I stepped into my business to make it big, not for me, not for me. Well, for me, yes, let's just be honest, for me, because it's my dream business and I love it. I love doing what I do with a passion. And I love it because it serves other people and it helps them to become better so that they can go out and serve others and help them to become better so that they can then go out. It's this self-fulfilling prophecy. When you step up to become a business owner in a business that serves from a place of love, that you love because it's your dream and you followed it, then that is what translates. So for me, the question I asked my team at the start of this year was, how do we become world class? And that meant for me going back and having a look at everything we do and asking the question, are we doing this to the best possible standard that can achieve the best possible results for the people that we serve? Everything from the text on my website. So one of the first things we did was have a look at all the assets that we currently have. So the digital assets. Let's look at the website. Let's look at how we present ourselves to the world. And are we presenting ourselves in a world-class way? So I went through every word of the website. And currently, my tech manager and digital artisan, Nathan, is working his way through upgrading and tweaking our website to make sure that it is as near perfect as we can get it, that it's user-friendly, that it actually has an option on it for people to sign up to an email list, and that it gives good information, and that the e-commerce is good, and that the typesetting is good, and that everything fits and ticks that box of world-class. Then we looked at how we communicate with our client base and asked the question if we were doing that to a world-class standard. And we said, okay, let's change that and let's put in systems and procedures that make sure that our communication is world-class. And how did we do that? We said, let's send out 2 newsletters a week and 1 blog per week, and let's do it really well. So I write them and Nathan edits them and he sends them out in the best possible quality. We review them and we make sure that that's what we're doing. Now, world class, I don't know whether we'll ever actually achieve that in other people's eyes. But when you look at your business from above it and say, I want every moving part to be delivering at that level, then you are making sure that the experience that your customer has, and this is really important, is the best that it can possibly be. So I suppose this live tonight was to charge yourself with that question. Am I personally working to world-class standards? And if not, how can I get there? What actions do I need to take in my business, in my marketing, in my messaging, in my branding, in my communication with my customers, in their experience and how they are experiencing what I offer, in order to be seen as world class and in order for me to accept that my business is at that standard? That can be really difficult when you're in it, unless you make an intention, unless you set an intention that that's what you want to achieve. And within that intention, that you then set a number of standards. So this week I have been writing. So I'm writing my 2nd book, The Life I Created. I've exceeded the 30,000 word mark, which means I'm about 25% into that book. So I've still got 75% to write. But I have done it in a really different way this time. Last week I read or listened to 4 books. And every book I listen to, and every time I enjoy a book, I don't just listen to the story, I listen to the writing. and how they are using descriptive words woven through their stories to bring people into the writing so that I can be a better writer, a world-class writer. I look at my painting. There we go. I always do the wrong hand. And I am really quite critical of my work. I know what I want that painting to look like at the end. And you'll see it every week on the live, evolving a bit at a time because I paint at the weekends. And I want to produce what I feel is world-class work for me within my band of talent and ability. I know what I want that to look like. So I've got to take it to the max and push myself beyond my comfort zone and constantly ask myself the question, have you done your best job on this, Mandy? Have you done the absolute best you can? And if the answer to that is yes, then I push myself to go, well, try harder and do better. Because I want to give a good experience, whether that's in somebody owning a painting, whether it's somebody buying my book, or whether it's somebody on my program. So really, this live tonight, rather than the how-to that I've been delivering all year, and there's a reason I decided to do how-to lives on a Tuesday night this year, and that's because I wanted to give as much as possible to the people that were taking their valuable time to watch me speaking on a Tuesday night and make sure that I was offering some really important information. So that's the type of thing that I've been covering for you when we've been talking about niche and vision and goal setting, and I've had handouts available for you if you wanted them. Not tonight. Not tonight, because tonight is a stock take of where you are and a challenge to say, how far do you want to go? How good do you want to be? How many people do you want to help? And how many people won't you help? How many people will be there in the universe not helped by you if you don't push yourself to be world-class, communicate at that level, and to help people to that standard? So it's questions tonight, questions for you to ask yourself about your business. What does your business look like when it's world-class? So I know what I want mine to look like in every working part. The people that work for me and the job that they do and how they work and how we communicate and how I build a team and lead that team needs to be at that level at all times if I'm going to achieve that in my business. So think about that. When you're starting out, there's just you, and you end up doing everything. You are the cleaner, the washer-upper, the digital artisan, you are the creator, you are the writer, you are the communicator, you are everything. And that becomes really draining. And what happens is when you go into that space and you are the person that does everything, it becomes difficult to take this helicopter view of your business and challenge yourself and say, what is it that I can do better? Collecting feedback is a great way of doing that. Asking people what they think of your messaging, what they think of your program, what they think of your product, what they think of your service, what they think of your paintings, if you're me, what they think of your books, if you're me, and gathering feedback, because feedback is a gift. Feedback really is, even bad feedback is better than no feedback. And if you're ever going to be world-class, or you're striving to be world-class, then you have to seek and receive feedback really well. It's not a criticism. If somebody is unhappy with anything that you do, you should take it personally. I do. I take it personally, but not in an offended way, in a positive way, because if somebody thinks I can do something better, I want to know. I want to know what I can do better. Now, when I do talk about world-class, I don't mean a polished, shiny business, corporate with clean lines, because that's not who I am. For me to be world-class, I have to be true to myself, to my creative intent, to my creativity. And creativity and leadership are intrinsically linked. And when you can really understand the connection between the two and start to challenge yourself, that's when you can take your business on that path to success. If this all sounds a bit woo-woo and a bit strange, then I'm sorry. Sometimes it's good to come on here and just have a discussion and see what happens in the questions. This week I did a live within my paid group, The Creative Calling, and talked about your ability to serve from a place of love. And I talked about in my story a little bit that I didn't always come from a place of love. It took me an awful long time to really get to know myself. You think you know yourself, but unless you challenge that, you don't. It took me decades to really understand myself. Because I went off to school and did my degree. After school, I went off and did my degree in art and thought that's what I was going to be. I thought that was me, my entity. I thought I was going to be an artist and that was it, or work in the creative space. And it didn't happen like that. And I ended up in retail for 20 odd years. So then I thought I was that person, a manager and a leader, but I wasn't. Something was misaligned in me. And it wasn't until I stepped back into doing what I truly love, serving the people that I want to work with, that I really got to know me. And it's only then that you can start to step into building a world-class business. When you're serving the people that you want to work with, that you love working with, that bring you real joy in every interaction, and you are doing the things you love. So if I'm writing, I'm doing something I love. If I'm painting, I'm doing something I love. If I'm working with creative women, something I love without saying. That enables me to say, I want to be better. I want to be better. Every month, I want to be better. How can we do better? Every month, the question I ask at the monthly meeting I have with my team, how do we do better? What are we focusing on this month to be better than the previous month? Will I ever get to world class? I don't know. It depends on whose opinion that is. But I will never stop trying. And that's where I'm going to challenge you to be, wherever you are with your business right now. I want you to get into the habit of challenging yourself to say, am I doing the best for the people that I serve? Can I do better? Look at it every month and say, what can I do better? And that is how you take your business from wherever it is now to world class. There'll never be an end game. You'll always be on your way. Virgin Atlantic are still on their way. Virgin as a brand, it's still on its way. Whatever it's done so far, there's more to do. And that's what happens with businesses and entrepreneurs. Look at the business models that are out there that are world-class or perceived to be world-class. Because believe me, there'll be a percentage of people who have had a bad experience and say, absolutely, they are not. But as long as you are always striving to get there, then you're doing all the right things. So what's your review process? And I've done trainings on planning and doing and reviewing. I ask my clients every week, fabulous advice, thanks, Leanne. I ask my clients every week to review their business, look at their week, review it and say what went well, what didn't go well, what can I do better, what did I learn from what happened? And these are the most important questions that you can ask yourself on a weekly and monthly basis. What can I do that better serves the people that I am interacting with in my business? So I'm writing book 2. It will be better than book 1. When I write the 3rd book in the trilogy, it'll probably be better than book 2 because all of the time I am learning. The next painting might be better than that one. The one after that will be better again. Although I know that's a subjective opinion, but I think if it's in you, in your heart and in your soul to constantly strive for that world-class standard, then you can only take your business in one positive step forward at a time. And it's going to work for you. It's going to work for you as long as you ask the right questions all of the time. So watch this space, because that is my goal for 2021, to take my business to world-class standards. You might not even notice anything that I do differently. You probably won't, and that's fine. That doesn't matter. I notice every little thing that improves on a monthly basis. How are you going to implement that? There's my big challenge to you tonight. How are you going to implement world-class standards into your action planning in your business from tonight? From watching this live, from me saying, why are you not doing this? Because why wouldn't you want to be world-class? So back to my selenite crystal that I started with. I'm going to charge everybody that's watching this live tonight with some positive energy from this selenite crystal, which will bring you wealth and success, and wish you all the very best in the journey. And if you've got any questions and you want to ask me, please come into my inbox and ask, or ask on the feed, because I'm always happy to answer. And I'm going to see you next Tuesday at the same time, 7 p.m, same place, right here in my studio, with whatever progress has happened on my painting, and however many words I've written in my book, and however many things that I have fine-tuned between now and then. And I hope that you can tell me what you've done in your business this week to take it up a notch. So I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful week. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.